Hi, everybody. I'd like to welcome you to episode 2 of series 1 of the Let's Thrive and Shine Beyond Belief podcast, which is all about helping people to be able to prevent burnout or be able to understand what might be causing them stress or anxiety, or maybe they've got some limiting beliefs that are holding them back, or that wonderful thing called the imposter. Or people pleasing, all of these things that might prevent us from being able to thrive within our organizations or creating our own business, all of those opportunities that might be being held back or maybe impacting our health. And the lovely Marianna Penna has joined us today for a couple of reasons, because she's just embarking on her own festival, which is for the women of worth, which is the festival is I'm Human. And it's about walk the talk. So she's going to tell us a lot more about that. But before we begin, welcome, Marianna. It's lovely to have you on board. And please share your journey. Can you help give the audience some hope that there is another way, please?
Wow, Keelan. First of all, thank you for inviting me. I'm so honored and happy to share my story because, yes, for the kind of work I'm doing for the last 3 years has been really challenging one, because it's been also a part of my path myself. So I am Italian. I've been living in London for 20 years. And actually, when I moved the first time over here, actually, I was a very young lady, and with a lot of hopes, a lot of ambition, in the meantime, strength, energy, and expectations. And at the time, there was no technology we got now. So there was no Skype. There was actually only a card at the time, thanks to which I could call my family. And that was really something that to me was very important, because I had this need inside of me to explore the world. And I had a job opportunity because I was in Naples at the time, graduated in economics, and I started my path as accountant in Italy. But anyway, everybody was pushing me, saying, wow, fantastic, you can make a lot of money, it's going to be fabulous, blah, 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 blah. But to be honest with you, I started the path, but there was no excitement for me. There was not really any drive, apart from the fact that I had to get on the path that was designed, or, in Italy especially, you study law to become a lawyer. You study accounting to become an accountant. Me, instead, I want to explore myself, first of all, in order to understand where was my path. And with no knowledge of London. So I went with my big bag, I must say, a lot of food as well from my mom, and I started my journey. And that was, for me, something fantastic, because I have found a place where I could discover myself. But I lost myself. I lost in the sense that there was so much to learn, so many opportunities. And, when there are so many opportunities, you can get lost because you don't know where to go, right, left, straight, back. And I was lost. There was nobody really could mentor me. I just decided it was my family, fantastic family, but they couldn't help me. I was by myself over here. So when I was talking back before about the card, there was really something for me that made me thinking I was by myself. I need to make sure that what I was doing was worth doing it for myself and for my family. I was very happy between 9 p.m. a.m. to 5 p.m. because I was a business manager for Italian desk. So it was fantastic for me, looking after Italian clients, supporting them to set up UK companies, as well as market research, because as a business manager, I was really doing any kind of work for them. But when I was by myself at home, I was feeling lonely, very bad. So I said to myself, here, I want to stay 1 year. It's going to be hard, a lot of sacrifice. I need to do as much as I can in order to improve myself and learn. Also, because I was sharing a flat with other 3 engineers, and they were earning a lot of money. Me, I was with them, but I wasn't having a very little room. So the lesson I've learned there was that you can do really whatever you want if you are aligned with yourself. I was not pretty sure what I was going to do, but I realized that was my opportunity. That was the time that I had to build something, and I need to discover what I had by myself. Of course, the journey was not that easy. It lasted at the time only 1 year because I was not happy with the boss. And I decided to go back to Naples. With all respect, I totally respect any kind of work, but I didn't want to compromise myself to earn living in London, to do something else that was distracting me from what I found out me doing, which was working in an international environment, helping others to set up their own business, understanding which kind of goal they wanted to achieve. But I said, if I'm going to work as a waiter, working whatever is going to be, I'm going to lose track. So I preferred, because, I managed in the meantime, I was earning £1,000 in 2001, and I was paying 550 for my little room. And I managed to save up for my holiday sometimes. I did a journalist course, I did yoga, I was traveling. So I was really keen of doing what I wanted to do, but I knew that they needed sacrifice. But when I have realized that the job I was doing was not right for me, because in the end, this gentleman was saying, I was asking questions. I was asking why I was doing in a way, but not because I want to be fussy about things, but to learn. And he told me not to ask questions. Yes.
Right. Yeah.
So I said, this is the price that I want to pay. Yeah, I want to pay the price of sacrifice, but I need to understand why. I want to learn, not just doing without. I'm not an I realized I was not just an executor. Nothing wrong with that, but I want to have a global vision about things. So when I decided to leave, in the meantime, as you know, find a job is a job itself, and I had a very limited time with my savings to stay over here. So I spent 1 more month, and then I decided to go back because I didn't find any job to leverage on the fact that I was already over here. So I went back to Italy, and I worked for a multinational. I was working as financial controller in an environment dominated by men, and I got bad experiences, unfortunately, because I was a very open person. I am a very open person in the sense that I like to be chatty, creating teams within the team itself, and so on. We were only 3 women out of 150 people, maybe.
Yeah.
At the time. And to be honest, I have realized nothing happened to me directly, but the director of the plant told me at the time that basically I was better off maybe not going to the kitchen when there was the lunch, having the canteen basically there, because men were talking about me. And to be honest with you, I was shocked. He was embarrassing himself to do so. But to be honest with you, I was not taken personally. I said, okay, this happens, that's fine. But I realized that, again, it was killing me as an individual, in the sense that why should compromise myself, because this environment is not sane, is not healthy, and I don't want to be in this place. I don't mind they taking their own things. It's their problem. Whatever they say about me is their problem. What I want to be is being myself, and this environment is not allowing me to express myself. So cutting short story, because it's 20 years along the path, I came back to London again, and then I set it up in my marketing consultancy business, supporting Italian brands, small ones, especially artisanal ones. I really wanted to show the world the beauty of these pieces, very authentic, very different. And I started telling the stories about these brands, and this I'm talking about in 2011, at the time. In the meantime, it's been very hard because Italian economy is pretty tough, especially when there is an international project. There is the language barrier, the distance. At the time, 2011, still was very hard. So they couldn't afford to come that often in London and so on. So I had to make a decision. In the meantime, I was helping my husband with the tax law firm that we have together. I am a partner in a tax law firm. And since 2012, then I joined the firm. And in 2019, I became, towards the end of 2019, I became managing partner. So change of direction. My husband is an old school lawyer, which is very predictable. Blah blah blah. Me instead, innovation, trying to reach a different audience, especially millennials and so on. And then I started working with women. And during pandemic, that was my turning point. Basically helping women through the tax law firm during pandemic, making sure that women were listened, they were heard in the sense that they had to say what were their difficulty during pandemic, and trying to create a cultural bridge between Italy and the UK, because on the second part of the pandemic, I decided to go back to Italy. And then I put together 24 women, 12 in the UK and 12 in Italy, in order to try to open up opportunities, business opportunities. And since then, for 3 years now, I decided to give up the role as managing partner of a tax law firm. I'm still a partner and supporting with the marketing and communication, especially as advisor. But now the women are my daughters and my friends and my sisters, really. So I'm looking after women since 21, when I launched. Wow, at the time it was called Women on Women, and now we have changed name on Women of Worth.
Yeah, so which is quite a journey. The things that you say, we've been in a manufacturing environment where it's predominantly male orientated. The biggest challenge I found, which is similar to yours, is that one, your identity gets lost amongst it, because you have to, well, you feel like you need to behave in a certain way, that you are compromising some of your behavior. Because you and I are very similar, as we're like chatting with people, we're friendly, all those kind of things, and people can misconstrue that being friendly with someone associates with something else. And it's just like, no, I'm just a friendly person. That doesn't mean to say that I want more than that, or I'm doing more than that, and everything like that. And because you've got to then, every single time you're somewhere, you have to be super aware of the way you approach things, the way you say things, the way you do things, because it might be misinterpreted. And as you say, that's just not in alignment to who you are as an individual, and can be really, really challenging. So I feel your pain, have experienced your pain. And know where you are. So, and that's where the whole mask comes up, doesn't it? Because you start becoming that imposter because you're not behaving congruent to yourself. And that's where it has the health issues that can be quite challenging.
Yeah, and sorry if I'm interrupting you. Basically, what I would like to say, to add is, sometimes, for example, I smile a lot. I'm very, I don't know, it comes natural, and looks like sometimes most of people see it as an act of, how can I say, maybe having a consent, or having this, or looking pretty, or whatever. So I became, over the years, especially here in the UK, having people coming from different parts of the world, I was trying to be, more neutral. And I thought I was doing the right thing. And actually, one mentor of mine said, Marianna, especially for the video for the tax law firm we were filming, he said, Marianna, the video is fantastic. I was at the time the managing partner. It comes across very professional, but this is not you. I said, what do you mean by that? The fact that you don't smile, you are so rigid. I don't know this, Marianna. And then this opened my eyes, saying, I don't need to prevent being by myself. Of course, being accommodating with others in the sense that not, being over people. But if it's my space, is allowed to have my space, and smiling, laughing is part of being myself. I have decided not compromise myself for anybody anymore. As long as I'm respecting people, if you don't like my smile, sorry. We are not meant to be, in the same circle. But apart from that, and that was believe me, big shift in sense of mindset. First of all, from my Italian, or anyway, my cultural family environment, where we are smiling, we are happy, and we share. And so the first shift was myself being open, then close to others. And then when I realized that I was doing nothing wrong, but actually I was doing wrong to me, the fact that I was not smiling anymore, that made me feel more relaxed again, and say, okay, if it's not working, that's fine. Of course, everybody wants to please everybody, but I need to please myself first of all.
And I love that you say that, because that's one of the biggest things that I learned. I was a people pleaser for since I was like a child. It's one of those things that are sort of programmed into you, and also about that whole behavior of, you need to be seen as being a nice little girl. And if you do this, then everybody will think that you're nice and kind and all those kind of things. And, it's finding that balance of what's actually pleasing everybody else as opposed to pleasing yourself. And one of the biggest things I've learned is, how do you stop people pleasing? Well, you learn to please yourself. And if people don't like that, then that's their problem, not yours. And, if you want to be happy and smiley and jovial and, I walk down the street, I'll say hello to someone and smile at them. And actually, I think it creates that ripple effect. But the more closed you are, then it's really, really painful for you to do that. So I'm really happy to hear that you go, do you know what? Not my problem, it's yours. And I know you and I we was doing a podcast a little while ago where it wasn't just, it was, myself, yourself, Michelle, and Charlie, and Felicity. And Felicity is just a young lady who's really successful, very smart, very clever. And during the interview, one of the things that she turned around and said is, I had this personal persona that I portray on social media, and then there's this professional persona that I portray, because I'm worried about what other people might think. But like me, you, and Michelle, immediately our faces went, oh, no, 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 don't do that. And it was like, I'll invite you, Felicity, kindly invite you. Please be who you are, because when you're compromising who you are, that's when it then starts being a challenge to you. And as you turn around and said, as if the person doesn't like who you are, then they're not going to be the person to be working with. They're not part of your tribe. They're not part of your social network, because all the while you're compromising your own personal values and beliefs, it's damaging. It's unhealthy, isn't it? So I'm glad to see that. So what would be 3 key tips that you would give to the women out there, but any of the listeners really, because obviously this is not just targeting women, it is for men as well. What 3 tips would you give to help others?
Yeah, first of all, as we were saying, be yourself. Be yourself is not easy thing to do. Everybody says be yourself, but we know what is behind that. There is a lot of sacrifice, a lot of honesty to yourself and knowing yourself. And sometimes, being yourself is costly, but in the meantime, it's a great investment. There's a return, if we want to talk in terms of business, of the fact that you attract the right people. You are yourself in a not comfort zone, in the sense that in a comfortable way to be yourself. Being yourself means be aligned with yourself and not being comfortable, because being comfortable is a death zone. So definitely being yourself, in the sense, explore yourself, put yourself always in experimentation mode. This is the way I see being yourself. Second, the clarity. Clarity is not easy. As I said, my dream 20 odd years ago was, I didn't have any clarity. Clarity you get in the way why you're talking, why you're walking. So the clarity, before you get clarity, you need to have the courage for you to go wherever you want to go. So I would say be yourself. So trying to, whatever you do, come from the bottom of your heart. And then the brain will help you to, if you are in a danger zone or not, but follow your instinct. And then I would say the courage. The courage is the second thing. So if you feel that whatever is driving you inside of you, follow it and be brave, because life is one. Nobody's living life you want to live for you. So what's the point wasting it if you have that drive? But for sure, people, especially women, we want to have a clear path before we take the leap of faith. And the leap of faith instead is, in my opinion, coming before that. And then clarity that is helping you to understand whatever you found is your purpose, whatever is your main goal, what is life about for you, definitely go for it. But it's a journey. So clarity is a journey. And I love that, because of course now I have different clarity than 20 years ago. And it's fantastic, because if I had this clarity 20 years ago, it was maybe not worth living it at the 20 years.
Yeah.
So all this anger sometimes we get with ourselves because we think we are wasting time, we are taking too much time. Yeah, it's frustrating for sure, but this is part of the journey. When you realize that it was needed, because then you have more clarity.
Yeah.
If you don't go through the dark sides of your life or the dark paths, you will never realize the difference when there is light up there. So while we are thinking it's frustrating, not having clarity right away, it will come. So as long as you know exactly what I was saying, what is driving you, your heart, take the leap of faith. So with the courage, then the clarity will come along.
Absolutely. And as you turn around and say, is that life is a journey, not a race. And all the while you're just racing towards that end goal, you're not learning anything along the way, and you're also not present. So, if things will happen, the reality is life is going to throw crap at you all over the place. I mean, who'd have thought in 2020 it's like basically globally the world is shut down. In conjunction with that, I had the wonderful pleasure of also Brexit. So you've got all of these companies having to deal with Brexit in the middle of a pandemic where you couldn't actually get anything, where cross-border trade was absolutely fundamental, but it had been sort of closed out, and no one knew how to actually do things. Even companies I spoke to that were massive global companies, they weren't used to cross-border trade across Europe, and they had no idea what they was doing. Plus, obviously, I had burnout as well that kicked in with it as well. Things happen, but it's asking yourself, what have I learned from that experience? How can I do it a better way? Was it a positive experience? Did I create an opportunity to come out of it? Have I grown as a result of it? And also, as you turn around and says, have I checked in with myself to make sure that I feel okay? And how do I feel about that whole situation? How can I make that a much better experience next time? So, or do you know what? Well done.
Yeah.
Well done. You've got through that. You survived it. Congratulations. And actually be proud of yourself through getting through that experience, because as you say, life throws crap at you. Accept it.
Yeah.
It happens. So tell me, Marianna, I mean, at the moment, you've got this Women of Worth festival that you're doing. I know is it the second or third?
This is third year, not the first.
Third year, yeah. And this year it's Walk the Talk, and it's I'm Human, which I'm delighted to have been a part of this so far, and I'm looking forward to your event that's taking place in London. But I know there's been another event that's taking place in Naples. Can you please tell me and the audience, what is this whole event about and how it's actually helping women? Because I know some of it's women that are in business that are already successful, but then it's also about other women that don't otherwise have the opportunities that perhaps other people can do, and it's how we can help them. So let me share.
Thank you for the opportunity to share about this festival, which I'm very excited. Every year I meet fantastic women. What happened during the festival? So the first idea, as I was saying, was during the pandemic. It was everything online. It was an online challenge. Basically, we were sharing stories with the wow moments, and since then has evolved a lot, because it was not just a showcase of women, but I said, okay, I have these women very excited to get together. We have something to talk about. We have so many things in common, but I have realized that they didn't know how to convert in business opportunities, or trying to leverage on my skills of networking, creating community in order for them to grow. So in the meantime, then WOW has grown, and throughout the year itself, I'm supporting women with their marketing. So from a strategy point of view up to the implementation. But as you can imagine, you can do fantastic marketing plan, but if it's not aligned with yourself, it's like you have a dress, fantastic dress, lovely brand you put on, and you don't feel it fits you properly. So I have realized that there is so much more to do before you go out there ready, nicely dressed with your marketing to promote your business. Because at the end of the day, sales is fine, but sale is not a one-off operation. It's actually making people aware about you, your brand, what you stand for, what is the mission of your business. So it's something which is much bigger than just the sale. And especially nowadays after pandemic, everybody's aware about how much it's important to create not only the storytelling about the business self, but actually what your values are in order to make people to be attracted by you instead of you attract them. So I realized then that there was much more to do instead of doing just marketing. And because I have promised myself we were going to have every year celebration of women during the International Women's Day month, I have talked with other women that were supporting me to create a festival for 1 month supporting women, for sure, giving them visibility, but in the meantime, also creating workshops, seminars, talks, helping women to have more awareness, not feeling lonely. They are the only ones. Mm-hmm. What I like about this approach that we have shared with the other 3 women that supported me throughout the festival is the fact that everybody says you need to take opportunity, which is fine. We should grab the opportunity. But I believe, as you were introducing me, also giving opportunities, because there is someone that has got the courage to grab the opportunity, but sometimes we don't see the opportunity. So during this month, we are trying to give also opportunities. So other women that they don't see, they feel lost, they don't see hope, they think they are, you're talking about imposter syndrome. And women, we are very good experts in that, saying that we are useless, we are not good enough. So during the month, we are working with women through these events in person now to experiment ourselves through some activities. So you were talking about London. Yes, we did last Saturday in Naples. Now it's going to be on the 24th of February here in London. Then we do on the 2nd of March in Milan, a multisensorial experience called Taste Confidence. We believe confidence is within us. The only thing we need to explore it or make them flourish. And with this multisensorial experience, we are discovering our self-confidence, the 7 layers of confidence: self-awareness, self-beliefs, self-worth, in order then to start creating bond with the people around us, around the table. And that is a metaphor for us that is helping to discover ourselves. Because if we think about the food, is actually the real moment where we connect with ourselves. And nowadays we rush our food, we rush cooking, we rush eating. So we are just feeding ourselves in order we have the energy, but we are not nurturing ourselves. So I wanted really to have the opportunity through these workshops to taste your confidence, feel it, embrace it, and then say, oh my God, I have so much within myself that can offer. And this is part of the program of the festival theme is I am human, because we are talking about artificial intelligence, which is fantastic, especially for people in business. That is a tool that helping us to achieve what we want. But we don't have to lose the most important thing, is connection with ourselves, people around us, and with the environment. So it's important having artificial intelligence supporting us to deliver whatever is our task, but it's about us. So the message we want to get across is that I am a human. I can make mistakes. I have flaws. I'm tired. I'm upset. I'm happy. I am human. And especially us as women, we're treating sometimes ourselves as machines. So that's why we maybe allow also others to be always perfect. We want to always to make them thinking we are perfect. We are not perfect. We are human. We are human, embracing it. As I was saying before, it's not easy. But if we together, we open up our heart. That's why we have the heart here. I am human. It's beating, it's dark because we don't know where it's starting, but there's something so powerful. Let's let it go out. But if we find an environment where we're sharing and we say that Marianna is not perfect, because they see Marianna traveling and Keely is not perfect. She's successful with her retreats and everything. We are humans. So we want to share with them. Yes, there is success at the end, which means you achieve your goals, but there is a sacrifice, and the sacrifice is not losing ourselves. You were talking about, I always tell you, I love your expression, life is a journey, not a race. And me, because I travel so much, I see, every time the destination, I need to go to Naples, Milan, London. I don't enjoy the journey. Yesterday I was by myself, and I travel most of the time with my husband, so which is great, a companion. But yesterday I said, wow, it's a little bit weird. I'm traveling by myself, but I am my own companion. So I need to embrace this companion, indulge myself. I had a treat on the aircraft, and then I start saying the destination is important, but as you said, the journey is just as important, because if I was coming here, I was not in the meantime during the journey treating myself, giving me a cuddle, I was feeling lonely, no? So I had to treat myself in the sense that I need to say, Marianna, you are not by yourself, you have yourself. So it was a journey within the journey. And if we think about every step of our life, and if we say, that's fine, I'm by myself, but I need to be content where I am and what I am, and then everything is possible, really. We are not perfect, but everything is possible within being ourselves and allowing us to express ourselves. This is what yesterday I had this thought that I wanted to share.
And I'm really glad to hear that, because I know that you were saying that, been racing around and everything like that. And I know you've said to me on the phone before that, the whole concept of life is not a race, it is a journey. You've just got to enjoy every single moment, because you don't know what's around the corner. You don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. You may lose your health tomorrow. So what's the point of, having that moment where you are laying in the bed going, I wish I'd done this, I wish I'd done that. There's no point in that. So the only way you can change that dynamic is, as I turn around and say, stop. Just stop. So, and just take time to enjoy that moment. And I love, your whole emblem about the flaming heart, because for me, when someone says, what is your why feeling? What's your purpose? Well, effectively, every single time I'm helping somebody else, I get that warm, glowing flame heart feeling, and it just makes me smile. It lights me up every single day. And that's what I ask myself, this question is, have I achieved my mission? My mission is to see the light shine in at least one person's eyes every single day. And when I then have that moment and say, have I done that today? What's not to make you smile? But you need to check in with yourself, not go, oh, I've got another thing I've got to do. Oh, I've got another thing I've got to do. Oh, I've got another thing. That constant in mode of what's next, what's next, what's next. And it's not healthy to be in that space all the time, and be able to take time out. And as you turn around and say, you're not alone, you have yourself.
Yeah.
And enjoy those moments. I used to love that. When I used to get on the plane, I used to become a master of getting on the plane at 6:30 in the morning, and within the time the plane had taken off, I was asleep. So even when they used to do the whole paraphernalia, I was just gone. And then as it was about to land, I woke up, and I found those moments were a gift to me, because I knew what was coming the rest of the day. So So just as a sense of fun then, if you was going to have some tracks that you would play to re-energize you, lift you, maybe you're feeling a bit flat, what songs would you pick to lift you up and change your mood?
Well, basically there are two, honest. Maybe again, there is within me the fun lady and the very strict one. So I have Napolitan, volcanic lava inside of me, passion, have fun, and then there is trying to work out the London mindset in the UK, work. So, and fun enough, I have two songs. One is in Italian and one is in English. I forgot about it. I was listening to it a couple of days ago. Try of Pink. I don't know if you know what you know. Try. It says, don't give up, try. And that I really recommend you to listen to that. It's a Pink, the singer. It can be very down, makes you down, but then it gives me the boost to say don't give up. You have to get up and try. And that is fantastic. It's boosting me a lot. The Italian one instead is more about the translation in English is What the Women Don't Say. Is an Italian singer in her 70s. Her music is fantastic. In Italian is Quello che le donne non dicono, means what women don't say, and is more the passionate part. So I will say this Italian singer is reflecting more my emotional sides as a woman, feeling fragile, vulnerable, lonely, that kind of things. The other one instead is my part, instead you get to try, you need to go for it. So these are, I will say, the two ones that I will say, reflect a little bit my two sides. And there are some songs, sometimes they come, especially when there are new hits. I like the trends, so they are the ones that they give me some boost. But these two really are part of me. So when I want to be more soft with myself, I love to listen to the one that is my comfort zone. And the other one, instead, for pink one, is more to say, Marianna, get up and try. Don't surrender. Don't surrender.
Can I just do a check-in then? What was the name of the Italian singer?
Fiorella Mannoia. Fiorella
Mannoia.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I'll check that one out. You have to share that one. So one other quick question. So if you had a book that you would recommend to anyone to read or listen to, what book would that be and why?
Well, this is interesting. Basically, I read a lot for work, and the classics, I must admit, I used to read only when I was younger, and I read very rarely. I came across this summer with, I was in Italy on the Riviera Ligure, which is by, towards Monaco area. And fun enough, went for a walk, and I went into a bookshop, and there was this lady that was approaching, promoting the book, and I decided to buy it. And it's called Diamante Rosso Sangue, which means a diamond red blood color. To be honest with you, wow, there was something. I read within 2 weekends. As I said, I'm not reading because I'm busy, and then I've traveling. So even when I am on the aircraft, I prefer to rest sometimes. So this one is talking about a prostitute, what happened, why she became a prostitute, and all the story behind that. Honest, if you want something, is anew, so is how you say in English? We say in Italian giallo, which means basically is anew book. Is a woman that is this prostitute that has been killed, but wow, what she had been through and why she went through, and then she lost her life. It was something. So maybe it was a universe attraction because of the fact that I'm talking about women in need. In Italy, there is a big problem about feminicide. A lot of women being killed any age, from 13 years old, unfortunately, with boyfriends and stuff, until they are 60, 70 sometimes. So this is something very important to me, a topic which is very touchy, but I have never thought about that perspective. So yeah, the universe worked for me. I really recommend. I don't know if she's going to do in English, but yeah, she's going to, now she's a part of WOW as well. So you might see her.
And no pun intended when I said, oh, wow. So yeah, if you could share her name for me, that'd be really great, because it's always good to find out about other authors. I mean, obviously English would be great, but I suppose it's a great way to be able to embark on learning some Italian, because you and I have spoken about that actually.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, indeed. So just trying to think, the only thing that I would like to ask you right now is that obviously, where can people find you, and also if they want to learn more about the WOW Women of Worth Festival, Walk the Talk, I'm Human, where do they find you?
Well, you can look, we have our website, which is up to date. So we are wowwomen.com. This is the URL of our website. Women of WOW, Women of Worth are WOW instead of Instagram, as well as on LinkedIn. So there is a full program. So as I said, we are having these 4 in-person events. We're closing the festival on the 16th of March. The idea is to have this closing party, which is also a celebration of our birthday. So all the women that want to join us, they are more than welcome. We are doing in Naples the last event as a celebration. So it's going to be some talks, but mainly we are showcasing some work that women have been doing throughout the month of March. Especially is in my heart the work of Patrizia, which is my captain in Naples. Why I call it captain? Because the way we are structured the festival, because we is like a road show, we have a relay represented by a torch represent like an Olympics, the strength from one person to the next one. So all the effort I'm making in a relay, giving to you the torch, means that I'm empowering you. Now you have empowered by this, you do your bit to get to the next step, and so on and so on. And this is exactly the way we have designed that's why walk the talk. We talk, but we also go for it, we walk it. And I've got Patrizia, which is my captain in Naples. I've got Indre in London, together with Giovanna, and then in Rome, Katusha, which is also supporting us with our PR work. So each group is working locally with local communities. I was saying Naples one, I have a heart because is Rione Sanità is a neighborhood which is, we say, periphery within the city. Basically, itself is very difficult neighborhood, but people there, they're fantastic. They are women in need, struggling sometimes with their own personal life, children that have problems, socially. And Patrizia, together with Giuseppe, which is a costume designer, are supporting me to delivering courses in costume design to help these women to have a hope or seeing something different, a light at the end of the tunnel. So this year, I'm really excited about what they're doing, because the theme is I am human, and we're talking about independence, especially financial independence for women in business, for women in those areas. Well, the costume designer have created a theme that is going to show us these women, they are not puppets, so they are getting free. So this is going to be something fantastic. The women, they are working on costume design, so they are learning techniques. They are going to prepare these dolls, and then they are going to come during the closing party, showcasing their work, and there's going to be a little bit of play, talking. So for them, it's going to be, from something that they are sitting in their own homes and coming there, showing their face, sharing what they're learning, and being in an environment where, yes, we are in business. We, as I was saying, we give it a platform to showcase, but they are the human side of women that we have not experienced that kind of things. Is good, is important. Listen to also what is their reality, what they face day to day. So that is not going to be, unfortunately, live. We is a closed door, but whoever wants to join us is more than welcome. So they can email me at hello@wearewowwomen.com, so they can buy the ticket to come along. We are offering, especially during the month of International Women's Day, a special price for them, because we want to reach as much as possible women. So yeah, you are more than welcome to come along if you want to come and see.
Yeah, I obviously, you and I are going to be catching up over the weekend at your London event, which I'm really looking forward to. And then obviously we're looking at some of the other dates, what's going on around, well, not just March, but also throughout the year, because there are things throughout your program that are going on. And this is where, for other women, this is where collaborations come into their own, because you start understanding what each business owner does and female organization does, where you can complement each other and be able to support each other and lift each other up. And don't underestimate the power of collaboration and support and synergies. because we can't be everything to everybody. So that's why we need to sort of find out where ways that we can actually connect with each other and be able to support. So do not underestimate that. And, in conjunction with that, obviously, but I've set up for the WOW women the opportunity that they can also participate in my retreat, which is for a Reset and Restore retreat in the heart of Bedfordshire in April. And as part of it, we've got a voucher, which is WOW Walk the Talk, which, on checkout, once you go to it, then you get £600 off, which is a fantastic opportunity for an all-inclusive event. So, and hopefully we're going to be seeing some of those WOW women attending. And I look forward to seeing you on Saturday, the 24th? Yeah,
Yeah.
24th. This will come out after the event, but it is a great opportunity for people to find out what else is going on within the WOW Women event. So it's been fantastic having this chat with you, Marianna, and I'm hugely honoured to have you on here to share some of the challenges and experience that you've learned along the way, and now using it to empower other women. So thank you, and thank you everybody else.
Thank you very much, Killian. Thank
Yeah.
you. Bye.
Cheers. Ciao, ciao. Bye.